everybody! A week ago, I asked you all to ask me anything, and by God, you guys have really asked me anything. Some good questions on there, guys. So, without further ado, I am going to answer them. Got the old phone over here, so I'll be reading them out basically top to bottom. That's basically how it's going to go. I'm going to try and answer them all to the best of my ability. So, the first question comes from CloneTF141, and he asks, are you gay? Nah, mate, nah. I very much prefer the pussy! Oh yeah, so that's a quick and easy answer to that one. So, next question. Kurorangelisix, I cannot pronounce that YouTube name whatsoever. He asks, what got you into wargaming and where did the idea of the wolf mask come from? Well, in truth, what got me into wargaming really was one of my friends in high school. I was in first year of high school, and my mate, who was my... I don't know, I knew him from Scouts. I knew him from Scouts. He was in the year above me, and he basically told me about 40k, got me into like playing orcs and stuff like that. So that's how I generally got into the hobby. I didn't really go hardcore into it until probably I was way out of high school into like my college years and stuff like that. And the wolf mask started basically because I wanted some kind of a gimmick and stuff. And at the time I was like, not really sure about putting my face on YouTube and all this lot. But since then I've kind of gone, fuck it. And the wolf mask thing has kind of basically died out. I still take it about with me if I'm going to events and stuff like that, because a lot of people do recognise the mask first before they recognise the actual face that is yours truly. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. So, Etron, aka Not E, asks, what do you think of all the new data sheets from Games Workshop? With all the types of detachments, would you take them all as one army if you had enough models to do it, i.e. with the new Blood Angels? In truth, no, I've not really seen the data sheet, so to speak, from Games Workshop. I was kind of really happy with the Unbound rules, meaning that you can take pretty much anything you want in 40k now. However, when I'm building an army, I do try and stick to the fluff. I'm a bit of a fluff master, and when I play, I'm not really the kind of person that will stick, like, all the best, cheesiest bits of one army into, from different armies into one force. That's just not the way I play stuff. So yeah, so that'll be the answer to that question. And the next question comes from General Splatten. We all like the General. Turn her. And he asks, why do hot dog wieners come in 10 to a pack when hot dog buns only come in packs of 8? Well, I'm not really too sure on the answer to that question. I'll probably say the evil corporations wanting to make you spend more money and, you know, basically waste more bread, essentially. So that would be the answer to that question. Okay, so next question. 24F Rami001 asks, who's the most badass, an Orc War Boss or a Chaos Lord? Well, to be honest, they both have almost equal degrees of badassery. However, I would probably say an Orc War Boss is probably more badass, just because of the whole big and the green and the muscles and the I'm gonna smash you in the face, whereas the Chaos Lords are kind of like, bow to Chaos, whereas, you know, the old War Bosses don't really bow to anyone. They crush people under their mighty boots. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. And the next question comes from RealityBite16. There's a couple of questions here, actually. He says, if talent / skill wasn't a factor and you had to do a dance, which dance would you do? Honestly, not got a clue. A dance. I would like to break dance. That would be pretty damn cool. Just be up in the club and just pop out some sweet breakdancing skills, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'd say to that one. And he also asks, do you read? Do you have a favourite novel? I'm curious. I don't really read anymore. I don't have time to read, unfortunately. But my favourite novels, I wouldn't say favourite novel, I can never ever pick one out of a massive group of stuff. But it would have to be, I love the Resident Evil novels. They're amazing. They go through the events of like the games and stuff like that. But then there's also the gap filler in between the games, which is really, really cool. And I like that a lot. There's loads of really cool side characters, and you get to see there's some really cool tyrants and stuff like that. I've also read the Eisenhorn novels. They are fucking brilliant. So much so that I actually didn't want to finish him because I kind of know what happens, but I don't want to find out how it happens, and it makes me sad. So those are the answers to those questions. Okay, so the next question comes from Alan Haynes, 1427, and he asks, what's your favourite Warhammer Fantasy army, and will you be building one for the new edition? My favourite Warhammer Fantasy army, that's a tough one really, because there's loads of cool ones. I really like Undead, I really like, you know, all the Nagash stuff and everything like that. I really like the Ogre Kingdoms models, because then there's a lot of room for really creative conversions and stuff. I generally like all of them. I also like the idea of dwarfs now as well, so it's kind of hard to decide. So I think I would probably go for, I don't know, I'll probably say ogres, just because there's a low model count and you can make those models look really, really cool. The second part of the question, I would say, am I building one for the new edition? I'm not building a Warhammer Fantasy army. For those of you guys that don't actually know, I really have a dislike of fantasy as a game system, and I'm actually going to be doing a series of videos which are basically my thoughts on stuff in the foreseeable future, and that will explain why I don't like fantasy, so stay tuned for that one, guys. The next question comes from Amazing Gamer HD Sway. Sway, I'm not sure, but he asks, what do you think about the new Skaven models, yay or nay? And also, would you rather suck a homeless person's toe for 2 minutes or be stuck in a cage with an angry honey badger for 30 seconds? Love your Nurgle builds, by the way. Thank you very much, mate. So, first part of the question, what do I think of the new Skaven? Really, really like him. I think it was about time that the Skaven models got revamped and stuff like that. Love the big beastie. In fact, I love all the big beasties that all the Warhammer stuff has these days, you know, for each individual army. They're so good, and they're such good kits. And the fact that you get options to build like 5 different kit models from one kit is just amazing, and you know, you get loads of leftover bits which are great for conversions afterwards, which is really, really good. I'm a big fan of that. I'm liking that Games Workshop are doing that rather than just pulling out just like you know, say if one kit makes 5 models, rather than making 5 extra kits, they're just making 1 kit and doing it all that way. That's really, really good. But yeah, so the Skaven models, really, really cool, and it would make me want to do them if I didn't have thoughts on it, which I will discuss in what I said before. So there we go. Next part of the question, the homeless person's toe or a honey badger? Personally, I would rather be trapped in a cage with an angry honey badger for 30 seconds, mainly because I would probably just stomp it to death, and then I could actually say, yeah, I'm fucking badass, I've been in a cage with an angry honey badger, yo. So yeah, so I'd rather do the angry honey badger thing. You don't know what kind of infection you're going to be getting from a homeless person's toe. That's just not good at all. So, Maddie Matt asks, he asks, what part of the UK are you from? Amongst with another one as well, and I'm not going to say that on YouTube. What I will say, if you want to find out where I'm from, or you want to arrange a game or something like that, or you want to meet up, you know, some of the other guys, I'd say give me a PM on the Facebook page. The link is in the doobly-doo down below. So if you go to there, send me a personal message on that, that will answer that question. I'm not going to answer that fully on YouTube. He also asks, what are your thoughts on Canada, where I'm from? To be honest, mate, I like Canada a lot. I don't understand why everyone kind of has this hate of Canada. From what I've read, from what I've heard, from people that I've spoke to, the Canadian people are really, really nice, really, really pleasant, easy to get along with. One of my friends has actually been living in Canada for about a year. She came back for Christmas. She's had a fantastic time. I would love to visit Canada actually as well. I'd love to go skiing or snowboarding or something there. Preferably skiing, because I suck at snowboarding. I'm quite good at skiing. But yeah, so I really, really like Canada, and I would love to go. It's just to be a nice, relaxing time, and then ripping it up on the slopes or something like that. So those are my answers to those questions. So the next question, Quinsner, he asks, question 1, why did the attack hamster throw the chicken in a lawnmower after he painted himself blue? That is very perplexing. I'm not sure if I can give an answer to that one. Why did the attack hamster, I don't know, maybe he wanted to make a stir fry, and, you know, tucking the chicken in the lawnmower was a quick way of dicing up the meat, I don't know. Or it could be simple as the chicken slept with his wife. I don't know, maybe, maybe not, you never know with these things. And question 2, what are your thoughts on the Adepta Sororitas, aka the Sisters of Battle? I like the Sisters of Battle. I think that they add a really interesting, albeit little known, fluff lore to the 40,000 universe. They're really, really cool how they were the whole Brides of the Emperor and how they got betrayed by that big-ass Lord of Terror guy who was like, you know, he basically got them all and used them to like start like a civil war and stuff. I think they're really, really cool. The fact that they kind of like tie in really nicely with the Witch Hunters, which is really cool as well. So you've got like obviously Ordo Xenos has the Death Watch, you've got the Inquisition has the Grey Knights, and then the Witch Hunters have the Adepta Sororitas, which is really, really cool. So I really like them. I think they would be really good if they brought out their own codex, made some new models for them. It would be a nice little addition to the Imperial side of 40k, which would be really, really good. So that's the answer to that question. So the next question comes from Iron Palatine. I think I got that one pronounced pretty well, actually. He asks, okay, here's one. Where have you ever been? Have you ever been part of a 40k roleplay? And another, what was your first mini? Right, okay, so I've ever been part of a 40k roleplay. Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. It lasted for about a session. And then who we were doing it with, we all kind of like gave up because there was a lot of fluff and it wasn't really that organised and stuff like that. I would love to do a 40k roleplay and actually record it like my D&D sessions that I do. Speaking of which, guys, more D&D sessions on the way. In fact, there was one out the other day, so go check that out if you can. And the next question, what was my first mini? That is a tough one. I think it wasn't my first mini, there was no single miniature, but my first ever thing from Games Workshop that I bought was a box of Orc stick bombers. This was back in the day, I was probably about 12 years old or something like that, and I painted them absolutely horrendously. I actually gave most of them to Mr. Pidge to reinforce his orcs, but they were painted fucking awful, absolutely awful. So you have your answer to that one there. Okay, so Scardinier, he asks, what part of the UK do you live in and would you be interested in a game of 40k? Question mark. I've answered that question already, I think, but yeah, I would totally be up for a game of 40k if said people are close enough. And obviously we have a venue to actually play at with tables and terrain and stuff. That would be also really, really cool. So you have your answer to that one. Also, Scarinate, if you want to PM me on the Facebook page, please do and we'll sort something out. Alright? So, Callum Restall asks, hi, I've been a fan of you for a long time and I'm curious, would you consider doing commissions again? The commissions thing, I've stated this in a past video many months back. I'm not doing commissions anymore purely based on the fact that I do not have time anymore to do them. I have a full-time job now. I have, you know, stuff around the house to carry on because I've got my own place now. It's a case I just don't have time to do them. You know, if I ever did one, it would kind of be like a favour. What would I just put my finger in? It'd be a favour for like a friend or something like that. But it's a case of no, I'm not doing commissions anymore. I have thought about it recently to get a bit of extra cash, but just the time, I wouldn't be able to compete with supply and demand because it would probably take. I really only get 1 day a week to actually do stuff like shoot videos and, you know, do the hobby. So it would be a case of you wouldn't see a miniature if I did commissions for probably about a month, maybe 2 months, something like that. And I just don't want to disappoint people like that. So there you go, you have your answer to that one. And the next question comes from G-String. We like G-Strings questions. And he asks, will you ever do a video where you make a Gideon Morningwood miniature? Do you know what? I've thought about this. Only recently, actually, before you actually mentioned the question, and I think that I might do a Gideon Morningwood miniature one day. I might get one of like the fantasy wizard kits and then like deck him out to be like that. That'd be really cool. I might do the whole crew. I might do Gideon, Lyra, and Gundrick and Darton. If you've met, oh no, you've not met Darton yet. Oh dear, I'll let something slip. Ooh, spoilers. But yeah, so I probably will do in the future. Actually, it's a really good idea. Thank you for that. Okay, so next question. Gunnar Nugent asks, what is your opinion of what GW is doing and going to do to Warhammer Fantasy? Well, I'm not really sure what they're doing at the moment. In my opinion, they seem to be kind of trying to revamp their whole model. they're kind of giving us more up-to-date codexes, and what I'm led to believe, these codexes that are all hardback should be good for the next like couple of years or something like that, and they'll just release like tiny updates and stuff through White Dwarf. That's what I hope they're going to do anyway, because 30 quid a codex, despite them being really nice, and the codexes are one of the few things I actually really like that Games Workshop has. It's a case of having to buy another 30 quid codex like every 6 months, every year. Is just ridiculous. In regards to what they're going to do to fantasy, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. I think that you're referring to the fact that they're trying to kind of end and cancellise fantasy, which I don't think they'll ever do, because whilst 40k is exceptionally popular, I think that it would be the biggest mistake of Games Workshop's entire career to get rid of fantasy. It's still a big moneymaker for them, and it was, I believe, did fantasy come out first? I'm not entirely sure. If you can correct me in the comments, and I do believe you, please do. But did fantasy come out first or 40k, or was it released along the same time? But it fills that much needed genre niche as well, fantasy, so I don't think they'll ever get rid of it, if that's what you're referring to. If not, I'm sorry, I've just rambled on. Next question. And the next question, the second to last question, comes from Susuko. And he asks, Jojo, would you rather fight 5 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Easy answer, I would rather fight 5 duck-sized horses. Why? Because I could just kick him. I could just fucking kick him. Oh shit, I broke my fucking tank. No! I could kick him, boot him. That'd be easy to fight. However, a horse-sized duck, that would be a thing of pure terror. Its quack would be deafening. Ridiculous. Oh my god. Oh, actually, it gives me nightmares, the idea of a horse-sized duck. Nah, seriously, a horse-sized duck though. I don't believe in fighting anything that's bigger than me, because if it's normally bigger than me, it's going to be stronger than me, it's going to be able to hurt me more. So that's the answer to that question. And the final question, guys, comes from Rob McKinley, and he asks, what is your opinion on Wales the country and the White Scars Space Marine chapter? Wales as a country, absolutely brilliant. I love Wales, I love the Welsh, I love the accent, I love the scenery, I love everything about it. I actually like going up to Shell Island every once in a while, going camping there. It's a really nice place in northern Wales, which is really good. So absolutely love it. In regards to White Scars Space Marines, I love them also. I like the whole nomadic kind of style, and it's something that they've not really done with Space Marines, with the exception of the Iron Hands, because they have like their Fortress Monastery moves about the planet and all that kind of stuff, but the White Scars being bikers and stuff, and being based on like, is it Mongolians or Moguls or something like that? I can't remember what kind of cultural racial thing they're based off in the real world, but it's a really cool idea, the whole nomadic bike-faring tribe of Space Marines. It's just a really cool idea. Plus, they're very close to Space Wolves in my opinion, so that gives a really cool option for some Space Wolf White Scar crossovers, which will add for some really cool conversions. But yeah guys, so that was the final question. Thank you very much for all your questions. It's been really good answering them, and a good think on some of them as well. Really decent. I'm probably going to do these every once in a while as well, so stay tuned. And as always, don't forget to like, favourite and subscribe. Don't forget to share it on the forums, share it on the Facebook groups, and I will see you guys again soon. See you now, and goodbye.